Hey everyone, this is Soki and Sensei Briggs. Back with you again tonight. April 2nd.
Yes.
I know they're watching all these videos and keep saying every time, do you not know which day you're on? I know the answer is no. I don't know from day to day which days I'm on. They're all running together right now because my normal routine has been thrown in a kind of a whirlwind, so I'm not really keeping up with my days. But anyway, it's Thursday night, April 2nd. This is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video. It's going to be a shorter video than what we've been doing the last few nights. And we're going to cover one-step sparring tonight. Not going to show techniques because that's not the way that we really teach it in Kidokime-ryu. Kidokime-ryu Karate-do, our Q grades or our colored belt grades, we have 10 of those. And they're broken down in 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. The beginner belts, we do not start or have the beginner belts doing one-step sparring. You start that when you start training for your first intermediate belt, which is the green belt. So it's not really something that we typically have beginners to do. I know that we've got some beginners that will be watching this video. It's okay to go ahead and work on that. Start from what we're going to show you on the video and start working on it at home. If you do that, you're going to need, well, if you're a kid, you're going to need a sibling or a parent. What we're trying to say is you're going to need somebody to work with, so you're going to have to teach them what to do so that you can work on it. So after we get through with doing this with a one-step sparring, then we'll tell you what the homework assignment is going to be between now and next Tuesday night. We'll go over that with you. But let's talk about the one steps. And this is how Kidokime-ryu teaches it. I know that different styles has their own thing. They teach things different. I don't bash other styles. I don't talk about other styles. What they teach is what they teach. Whether I agree with it or not, it doesn't matter to them. It really doesn't matter to me, because everybody has their own thing that they do. So everything that we're doing is how Kidokime-ryu Karate does it, Japanese American style. So again, we typically don't have people start doing one steps until they become an orange belt, start training for the green belt, because the green belt is the first belt in their intermediate level. So, and then even at that, when we first teach it, as with anything else, we teach it at a very basic level, and then you just add on to that. You keep getting more advanced with it, like you learn basic techniques and you get more advanced with it. You learn basic stances and you get more advanced with it. You learn basic blocks and you get more advanced with it. Basic kata and you get more advanced with it. Same way as you do in sparring. You start from very basic stuff, and as you go up, you should be getting better and stuff. And one-step sparring is no different from that. One-step sparring is just a controlled sparring. I wouldn't even call it, well, it is called sparring. It's just a controlled type exercise, if you will, where one person's throwing a technique and the other person is blocking that technique and counterattacking without making contact. Or if you make contact, it's very, very, very light contact because you're not wearing any kind of protective equipment. So when we first start out with one steps, we start out with, like we said, you have an aggressor and you have a defender. So tonight we're going to let Sensei be the aggressor and I'll be the defender, if you can get right there now. And when we do this, like I said, we'll keep everything extremely basic. So when we do this, she's just going to be doing just like a lunge punch, like she's doing in a kata. She's going to be stepping from one front stance to another front stance and just punching. And that's all she's doing from this, and we're going to teach just the basic level of this. And when she does that, we typically only let them teach, or only let them strike in two areas: a middle target area, which is around the solar plex target area, and a high target area, which is around the facial target area. Now, when you do this, you like to do it with someone about your same size. So for me to practice one-step on, it's hard for me to practice one-step sparring with Sensei and me being the defender, because her arms are so much shorter than what mine is. By the time she gets in on me and throws a punch, I mean, I'm right there where, it's easy for me to block it, but it's hard for me to throw any type of technique. So if you're doing it with somebody about your same height, it's got the same size arms and legs and so forth as what you do in the lengthwise, then it's easier. Now, if I was the aggressor and her the defender, it would be easier on her because it's giving her more room to operate when I step and punch. Because obviously I'm going to be further away from her when I step and punch than what she would be. As you can see right here, look at that. Now, if I'm sticking my hand up here, look how much further it is before she gets to me. And this distance right here makes all the distance in the world when you're doing something. So it would be easy for her to work on her one-steps as the defender with someone like me, but it would be hard for me to work on my one-steps as the defender with someone like her because her arms are so much shorter than mine. Also, when you do this, we don't have, I know there's a lot of styles out there that says, show me one step number 1, or one step number 5, one step number 7, one step number 11, or what have you. We don't teach it like that. We teach you how to do one steps, and we let you develop which technique you want to throw for you, because what might be fluid, easy techniques for Sensei to throw is not going to be the same fluid, easy techniques for me to throw, and vice versa. So people has different things they like better. She might like some punches more than I do, so she's going to be more apt to use those punches. She might like some blocks better than I do. She's going to be more apt to use those. Even though we ask when you test for your black belt that you do enough of them where you're using all of your blocks. But once you get up to your black belt level, not only are we going to ask you to use all your blocks, we're going to ask you to do some kicks, we're going to ask you to do takedowns off of one steps, we're going to ask you to do throws off of one steps, and that sort of thing. But again, we're teaching from an orange belt standpoint right now. When you get your orange belt and trying to train for your green belt and go up a level, we're teaching from that basic standpoint. So the basic standpoint is this: when she steps and punch, there's two things I need to do: block and counter punch. That's it. I'm not going to move out of the way. There's no movement with me. We're starting from the very basics. So it's just going to be block and counter punch. Once I do that, then it might be block, or it might be move, as in sidestep, block, counter punch. Or it might be move, again, as in a sidestep or something along those lines, block, and when I go counter punch, it might be a combination. I might ask someone to throw me a 3-shot combination. A combination is anything with 2 or more techniques. Or I might say, do one step, throw me a 5-shot combination. That means you've got to block, because you always got to block in one step, the way we teach it. So you're going to have to move, you're going to have to block, you're going to have to throw 5 techniques, bam, bam, bam. And I might say mix them up, hands and feet, or keep them all feet, or keep them all hands, whatever the case may be. But right now, again, we're going to show you just from the basic level of it. So, as the aggressor, when we start this, I'll be the defender, so I'll be standing in a ready stance. Sensei will be standing right in front of me in a ready stance. And as the aggressor, I will look at her and tell her, I want you to use your right hand and throw a middle punch. Now that means she's going to punch at me with her right hand, right dead center in the solar plex. I know what's coming, but this is a basic level. So right hand, center punch. Now what she's going to do is measure off. You can see she's getting close. She gets in her front stance. She measures off where she's barely touching me. Now she's going to step out of that right hand front stance into a left hand front stance and bring this back to the hip and get ready or get prepared to do exactly what I told her. Once she steps back in that position and she's ready, she's going to ki-eye at me.
Hey!
Now when she ki-eyes, that tells me she's ready to go. When I ki-eye back to her, that gives her a green light to do just that. So she's going to do exactly what I asked her. She's going to step forward with a right hand center punch right in the solar plexus. Now remember, the basic level to one steps is only blocking and counterattacking. Block and punch. Not a combination, block and punch. So when I ki-eye back, she's going to, and we're going to go through this kind of slow motion for you, if you will. So I'm going to ki-eye back at her, and she's going to step and do the exact same thing I told you, and you'll see me do nothing but block and punch. Hip, block, punch. That's all I did. And we start from the very, very basics. Now, she had punched with her left hand. If I had told her, to punch with her left hand in the solar plexus to let you see what I just did better, only thing I did was a middle outside block, rotate my hips, and counter punched in the center of her body. That's all I did. So that is the very, very basic level of this. It's just block and punch. So she can do it again, and I'll just show you another example. Right hand, same thing. Right hand, so she squares off. She goes back after she squares off. She ki-eyes.
Hey!
Tells me she's ready. I'll ki-eye and tell her to go. Hey! So I block straight up and counter punch. And that's all I did. That is the very, very basic. That's good, Sensei. That is the very, 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 very basic of one steps that you can get. Now we're going to add something to that. When you get it where you can do that, where you can flow at that, then we're going to say move and block, counter punch. So this time you'll see me actually move from this position outside of just twisting my hips, because you saw me twist my hips when I punched, because I'm used to twisting hips when you punch, because you're supposed to twist your hips when you punch. So this time you're actually going to see my feet move out of the way, and I'll block and counter punch. Do the same thing, Sensei. Just go through the same technique. Hey! So I block, I step out of the way, and I counter punch straight to the ribs, right here. It's the same thing. Do it again, Sensei. I'm going to do one on the other side. Okay. Hey! Block, counter punch, right there. So we're going to speed it up just a little bit, not a whole lot, because let's get out this way a little bit. We're going to speed it up just a tad bit and show you the step out of the way where I I basically did the same thing I just did. So that way the camera can see the front of my body. I'm going to block when she comes with the punch. I'm going to block and counter punch one time. This is about the speed that we would have orange belt to do it. So speed it up a little bit. Hey! Right there. And that's just basically stepping out of the way, blocking and counter punching. Now, let's say we say, which you're allowed to do when you test for your green belt, because we teach it just the basic block, punch, and then step out of the way, block, counter punch. So let's say that we tell an orange belt that's testing for the green belt, I want you to block, or actually they know they got to block on one steps, but we tell them we want to see a combination punch. So this time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to step on the same side. I'm going to block, and I'm going to throw a combination punch. And that's it. That's the only difference. I'm just adding more to this. The further we get in with it, the more I'm adding to it. Same thing. We'll just kind of take this slow thing. Hey! So a step, block, 1, 2, 3. Or I could have come with a ridge hand, or 1, 2, 3 to the face. It doesn't matter. I'm just throwing a combination. Okay, we'll speed it up a little bit this time. Hey! Hey! Right there. So, as you can see, we just add more to it as you go up. Now, like I said, once you get, and this is when you're testing for your green belt, after you get through that, you have to do one-step sparring from the green belt all the way up to your black belt. So the further the belts gets up, the more one-steps we ask of you. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again. And the more difficult we'll make them. Like for the green, the blue, well, the purple, you don't have to do it because purple is all self-defense. But green, when you get to the blue level, you're still doing that. Once you get to the brown level, we're going to ask you to start throwing in some kicks and so forth. As the brown level starts to progress, we're going to start training you to do takedowns with it. When you get up to your near the last brown belt, we'll teach you not only to do takedowns, but we'll teach you to do throws like a hip there. Do the same thing again. Slow motion. And this is going to be showing you how you would do a throw, for instance. So I would block, punch, come in, take her, and throw at this point to the ground, and then come in with my kill shot there. That would be an example of a throw when you're doing your black belt. Or if you want to sweep, do the same thing. We'll show them a sweep real quick. Slow motion. Hey! So this time I will block, punch, sweep the leg, and come across like this to take sensei to the ground, and then the kill shot there. So as you can see, we step it up the further that you get up. What we just showed you is how you start from the beginning of one steps with just a simple block and counter punch to the block or the move, block, counter punch, move, block, combination punches, kicks, takedowns, sweeps, throws, all that. It depends on what level that you go up to do that. You got anything you want to say before we give them the assignment?
I don't
about
think
one
so.
steps?
Nope. There's something that you'll find that's really good. Something I need to practice more of, which Sophie and I are going to do. Try them. See what you think about them. If you have questions, let us know.
And again, you get to make up your own. We just tell you what we want you to do. We want you to show us 5 one steps, and we want you can't, or let's say 15 one steps. We don't want you to do the same thing twice. We want you to mix it up. We want the person coming at you with a middle target area, high target area, maybe a low target area, maybe have them come at you with a front kick. We want to see a minimum of 2 takedowns. We want to see minimum of 2 throws, whatever the case may be. We'll just mix it up. The black belt board will depend upon what belt level that you're going up for. And it's something that you got to stay on top of, to be pretty smooth at it. But I think that's about it that we're going to cover on that. So now here's your homework assignment for next Tuesday. I know that each one of you, or your parents, if you're kids, most of y'all are your kids, I think. Well, some. But anyway, either you or your parents, one, have got a cell phone. So if you've got a cell phone, you have the ability to do a video on your cell phone, because this video that we're making right now, we're doing it on my cell phone. I'm not the most technologically advanced person in the world. I'm more a mechanical type guy, tear something apart and put it back together, and this technology stuff I don't get along too well with. But if I can do it, anybody can do it, is the point I'm trying to make. So we know that you have the capability of using a cell phone, because I have received text from everybody in class, with the exception of maybe Evangeline. Okay, but for Evangeline's parents and her grandmother, that brings her to class most of the time, and Evangeline's a little 6-year-old girl we got in class. You guys might have to help her out, but everybody else, take a cell phone, put it on video, and what we want to see you do is your last kata that you know. We want to see the best version of your last kata that you know. So get someone videotape or video you on your cell phone doing your last kata. Now, if the last kata that you have learned, that you've been taught, let's say you're only halfway through it, well, do the halfway portion of what you know on that kata, and also do the last full kata that you've known. We're wanting to see everyone's last full kata, and if you've been shown any on another kata, show us what you have on that kata. This also goes for weapons kata. Senpai, as far as you go, sir, I want to see a last empty hand kata that you've been shown and the last weapons kata that you've been shown. Now, this is how you're going to get it to me. I want you to send it to me on Facebook Messenger, not Facebook. Facebook Messenger to the Kidokime-ryu Karate-do Facebook page. Not the Soki Bobby Briggs Facebook page, the Kidokime-ryu Karate-do Facebook page. Okay, that's the one I want you to send it to. Through Messenger. Don't try to text it to me. Don't try to send it through email. Don't try to send it to me through any other way except Facebook Messenger. I want to see who can follow instructions. I don't know if I can make that much clearer, do you?
No, that's fairly simple.
Make a video of your last kata, senpai, if your last Incan kata, and if your last weapons kata. Make a video of your last kata. Send those to me on Facebook Messenger through Kidokime-ryu Karate-do Facebook page. Sensei Car, do the same thing with yours, ma'am. Show me, I want you to send to me Baisai and what you know of Kankusho. And also send me a weapons kata. I know that there's going to be multiple ones coming in to me, and that's fine. You can send them to me through Facebook Messenger. If you nor anyone in your family understands how to send a video through Facebook Messenger, call me and I'll teach you how to do it from somebody that is not technologically advanced whatsoever. And I'll tell you how to do it. It's a very, very easy process. So that's your lesson for next week, right?
Yes.
And we need all those videos so I can look at them.
Before Tuesday night.
No, we need them before then. I need to be looking. I need to see them before Tuesday night. Let's say I need them before Monday night at midnight.
Oh, okay.
Monday night at midnight. Okay. Do your kata. Have someone video you doing your kata on a cell phone and send it through Facebook Messenger. That's not but so difficult. Okay. Have anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Nope. We miss seeing you guys.
Yes.
We're praying for everybody. We want you to stay safe, stay well, stay in.
Yes.
Social distance, do whatever you got to do so we can get this virus out of here and get back to class.
Amen. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.